parents, I just wanted to send you a quick video and give you an update on a couple of things that are going on. Wanted to remind you that if you have not turned in the permission slips for the Outdoor Learning Center, I need those as soon as possible. We'll be going September 30th and October 1st for that trip. We'll be out there for 2 days, so it's very important that we have those permission slips. They went home in the Wednesday folders last week. If you did not get one, or if you cannot find it, please let me know as soon as possible and I will get you one. Also, this week in, last week and this week in reading, we've been working on our QRI, which is our beginning of the year inventory, just to kind of see where students are as far as fluency, comprehension, and then reading accuracy. So I'll be finishing those up this week, and we'll be ready to talk with you about those when we have our fall conferences. Also, tomorrow we'll be doing our beginning of the year narrative assessment for writing, where students will write a narrative passage and we will assess that based on the writing rubrics, and then I will be able to talk with you about that as well. In reading and writing, we're working on, we're starting to come out of the first 30 days and work on specific skills that students are going to be working on throughout the year. And this week in reading, we're going to be working on retelling and summarizing. Retelling is one of those pieces where students tend to struggle with, especially if it's an expository text. And so talking to them about not only retelling in an orderly fashion, but also getting as many details as possible, whereas summarizing is a little bit different. With summarizing, you're not giving every bitty detail, but just the big points. In math, we're going to continue working on our problem-solving skills for the next 2 weeks. Those are getting better. I cannot tell you how much your child has grown in this process. They're learning more and more every day, and I continue to push them to raise that level by asking them why, by asking them to really explain their thoughts. One of the things that we're really going to work on, and this is something that you can help at home with, is clarifying their statements. For example, I have a lot of students that say, well, we did it, or this is what it looks like. Well, my question to them is, what is it? Is that an alien? Is it a food item? You know, what is the it? And so we want them to be very, very clear. And this spills over into science, this spills over into all of our other curriculum and content area as well, because we want them to be very specific. With their wind turbines that they're building, they have to be very specific in their designs and their drawings. And we've talked about how scientists will put numbers to their plans and measurements to their plans, because if their measurements are not correct and they're not accurate, then how can people repeat what they've done? So it's very important that they get that specificity. In social studies, they're going to have homework this week, and it's going to be a geography assignment, and there's some short skills that they do, and I'll be sending that home as a packet for them. And so that'll be due on Friday. So that'll go home tomorrow and it'll be due on Friday. So look for that coming home. Your spelling words were on your newsletter that I sent out on Friday. I will also send a list home with them tomorrow so that they have that as well. We'll be doing our pre-test tomorrow and get that taken care of so Dr. G doesn't forget, and then it ends up being Wednesday before we get to that, which that did happen last week, and I apologize for that. So that's kind of a look at what we're doing this week. One of the things that we are going to be working on heavily this week is our readers' response journals, and making sure that students are completing those. They're going to have one that'll be due on Friday. I'll be giving them time in class to work on that. But one of the problems that we had with the first one that we did was they did not follow the rubric. Not everybody followed the rubric and what the rubric asked. And so tomorrow we're going to set up some example responses, and we're going to have the students walk through those and assess what those look like, and so they can kind of see what we're looking at. Even though I did model that for them, I think it means more when they can see another student's work and they can assess that work. And sometimes they're a little harder on everybody else than I would be, but that just sets the standard for them and what we want from that. I hope you have a great week, and if you have any questions, as always, please feel free to ask. I am thoroughly enjoying being with your children. I hope they're enjoying class, and I know they're enjoying reading Whatever After is the read aloud we're doing right now. It's one of the Texas Bluebonnet Book Award winners for this year, and they beg me every day to read it. So we usually get a chapter in, and then I have to stop because we have to go on with other things, and that makes them very sad. So they're really enjoying that. So I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and I look forward to a great week. Thanks.